Hi there, my crafty friends. It is Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stamped AF. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. And this video is for the Stamping Sunday blog hop. I'm recording it a little bit early, so I'm going to try and keep that in mind. We have a baby shower to go to tomorrow, and I'll cover up the address part of it. But this is the invitation. And I had asked, you know, do they have any favorite animals? And then when the invitation arrived, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is perfect. Perfect because now I know which animals to focus on. And two, the stamp set that we were going to use for this is on the retirement list. So in just a couple of short weeks, Foxy Friends will be with us no longer, which is oh so sad. The Fox Builder Punch will also be leaving. So if you see in this little corner here, zoom in for a second, I've kind of drawn what it is that I want to do. Keep it zoomed in a little bit. I saw a design on Pinterest that caught my eye, so I thought I'm gonna make it my own. But I like the general layout of it. So I'm just using, it is the second largest stitch square from the Stitched Shape dies, which are sticking around, hallelujah. So I've already cut out 3, just gonna do the last one, and then we will get to stamping. This is going to be a fairly simple card. And then I'll show you the project to go along with it, because for Stamping Sunday, you know, we always do a card and a 3D item. So this is an A2 size card base. It's a top folding. So it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, or 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So set that aside. Here is our last stitched square. I'm gonna put that away because I'm terrified that I'll lose it. Not terrified, but you know what I mean. Now we have the new in color terracotta tile would actually make a pretty nice fox, but I am thinking Cajun Craze. Now we could always stamp them up and see which one we like. Move this out of the way. We'll get our little squares over here. Now one of them is going to be the full body. The rest of them will just be stamped on. These are photopolymer stamps, and I have found that they do not stick anymore to this. There's always loose faces and legs and these antlers. And there is my punch template, so that when I am stamping something, I know where to stamp it so that it will punch without wasting a ton of paper. Okay, we are going to grab the fox and a D block, and we'll start on this one here. So what do you think? Should we use, let's stamp it on the grid paper and see. Oh, that's a pretty good fox color. Now let's try Cajun Craze. I'm hoping that in the next few weeks I will have all of the ink pads in the new colors. You can see this one is, it's dry, it's, I don't know if it's mold or what, but I've always had issues with this one. So we're gonna use terracotta tile. Cajun Craze will need a new one sooner rather than later. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep this off to the side. And if you can tell, this first guy is just half on, half off. We'll do it so that his nose is on the block though. Just hold that down for a couple of seconds. There we go. Ooh, lovely. I'm just gonna bring my Stampin' Pierce mat so that I don't have to put so much pressure with my hands. This doesn't want to stick. Okay, now the next one, You do not want to stamp it like this because that would be what you would get. Because we've taken the ink off of this part, but not that part. And look, we even got the reverse stitching. Pretty neat. Now this one, we are going to stamp it so that his feet are off of the edge, but his tail is still in there. Foxy Friends was in my starter kit, so there's a very, oh, I didn't need to clean that. It has a very special place in my heart, and I am going to miss it. I've said a million times that I'm not a floral gal, and sometimes I struggle to know what my style is, but I do love working with animals. And perhaps that's part of why Foxy Friends has my heart. Oh, look how cute they are without their faces even. Creepy, but I'm gonna say that terracotta tile is the perfect fox color. Who's with me? Okay, now for this one, we are just going to stamp the head on there. Oh, we don't have just a fox head. Okay, well, we're gonna stamp the whole thing on this piece. Oh, I just smeared that. Let's punch it first. Otherwise, I am going to waste a whole bunch of cardstock. There we go. You always get all of the pieces. So got our little nose over there. Now we could probably line this up so that we can get it in one fell swoop, but I don't give myself that much credit. So I'm so sorry if my head ends up in the shot. Okay, so there's the head. Just kind of pry it off. This is a very juicy pad, so it is sticking. Now you'll notice on this body we have the mark from his chin, but that's okay. And then the tail. So now I can clean that and we can start building our fox. We're done with terracotta tile. Isn't that gorgeous? That is one of the new in colors, and if you haven't seen any of my videos recently, I do have this little sample that shows the in colors. So terracotta tile, Rococo Rose. Is that right? Someone said, they said it funny and now it's thrown me off. Rococo Rose, Pretty Peacock, Seaside Spray, and Perfect Posy. Purple Posy. Yeah, that's it. And I also did this little sample. So those are the new in colors. Now, before we start attaching this guy, let's do our faces. Just cleaning that off a bit more. I like to use this really wide set one for the fox. Oops, cheers. So I'll move him over here. There we go. And we'll do that for the other ones. I think it might be a different one that I normally use, but it's okay. All of them are cute. Okay, so this one, we only have one eye and the nose. But how cute is he? Okay, so there. This is the last one. I have a tiny bit of the terracotta tile there, so I'm just gonna crop this a little bit closer because this will be the top piece. So we'll start by putting that on there. And I thought about dimensionals, but I think we'll pop the whole thing up on dimensionals when we're done. And because this is so small, I'm just using, this is still Tombow, but it's in a more compact, squeezable container so that I get it exactly where I want it. It's just a little more precise. And then the same with the tail. Just hold that down for a second. There are no sentiments in there, so we will get a sentiment elsewhere. But before I pop him up on here, we're going to attach on here. And I just want a little bit of interest on this side. I'm just going to cut that piece after. So I love the precision aspect of this, but the sound of that metal on paper is like nails on a chalkboard for me. Okay, and then with our scissors, just cut that off. There we go. And now it's time to start building. So when I am doing something that requires some precision, I like to use like an L or a T-square. So this is going up here, and before I put glue on them, I want to know how much space I have to work with, because you may know you have a little bit of time to work with Tombow. It's not endless. So easier to get them figured out without any adhesive on there. And for this one, we can just kind of line it up. That one, we'll put more to the side because I don't want his tail going in this one's mouth. So that looks pretty good to me. I do want to keep it so this one doesn't move too far over. So I'm just gonna do like a little L shape, just to give us the general idea of where they're going. Now, I don't know why I moved that. So we'll keep this so that it's even with the end of the card. And let's get to gluing. We don't need this precision tip anymore. Not ever, but for this project. Ooh, how about so happy about your happy news? Let's try that. Take our little fox off of there. And we are going to use, we're going to use Memento. I want it to be dark. This guy can go away. This guy can go away. So if you don't already have the Foxy Friends bundle, I would highly recommend it before it retires. It is adorable, especially if you have any kind of baby cards to make. So there's that. Now, I still have to put these together, but this is my 3D project. So baby's name is Mila, if you saw that on the invitation. So I'd say we're pretty good with this card, hey? It's cute. Okay, so here is something for her nursery. And the only thing I have left to do is punch my little holes and string these all up together. But there is her name with a funny little furry little woodland animal. So we've got a fox on that one. And I used the bird from the well-written Thinlits and the tulip from Varied Vases. We've got a deer, and I've put some glaze pen on his nose and his eyes. And this flower is from Varied Vases as well, and that's from the well-written framelits. But I have a fun little tip for this one. So, if you notice on the Varied Vases, there's a tulip and a leaf, and then those 3 vases. It doesn't cut out that other flower, but you know what does? The Bunny Builder Punch cuts out that flower perfectly, and this is retiring as a bundle as well, and you'll notice that I used the bunny on this one, and that was when I discovered that it cut the flower. I used some glimmer paper for its tail, and I used the glaze pen on its eyes as well. And then this one has a raccoon. So I was thrilled with how that turned out, and I will have pictures and all the details on my blog post when our blog hop goes live. But that is it for now. I thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you soon, my crafty friends. Bye.